Welcome back to another episode of Does It Pencil Out? Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. I got a hard-hitting, pull-no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. If you're new, please subscribe. Subscribe right away. Never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded people. Iron will sharpen iron. We're going to sharpen some iron today, my friends. We got a good one. We're going to continue to heat map, monitor, temperature check, read between the lines, look between the cracks of the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Why would we want to look at the U.S. housing market and heat map or temperature check it? Because everything hinges on the U.S. housing market. If and when we lose it, we lose everything. Booms and busts. We've always had them. And I'm pretty sure, if not mistaken, courtesy of a crisis and a money dump and the doubling of the amount of money in circulation, we just had a pretty big boom cycle, didn't we? The housing market was euphoric, bidding wars, lack of inventory, you name it. We could go on and on and on. Throw a dart at a map of euphoria map, and we're hitting some euphoria circulating around the housing market. A lot of upward pressure, lack of inventory, making real estate agents essential workers in a health crisis to stimulate one of the asset classes. The government thought it'd be a good idea to stimulate the economy, and we overstimulated the biggest asset class in the world. So as a real estate guy who loves real estate, 90% of all millionaires made their money in real estate. It is, in fact, the path to wealth, but not by owning our house, by owning other people's houses. Sure, you can probably buy a house, at least back when, our parents were around. Maybe you bought a house and paid it off after 30 years and you could retire somehow and have built a little bit of a cushion, retirement through the house. But now it's just an episode of $1 Million Listing, another asset that can get overheated. And we continue to manipulate the markets to do what we can to make, homes available for everybody. Everybody deserves to own a home. Well, it's not, that's not traditionally how it worked. You saved your money. You came up with a down payment. Back in the old days, before it became an episode of $1 Million Listing, you were saving 50% down to even get the bank to share in the risk with you. Not anymore. Minimum amounts down. And we wonder why the banking system failures continue. But anyway, we'll get out of the problem in the solution. Forward thinking, critical thinking, centered and surrounded with like-minded people, where iron will continue to sharpen iron, and moving forward, understanding the waters we're swimming in now, shark infested. How do you swim with the sharks? Well, the best way I know how, and we're going to look at properties all over America, aren't we? We've been doing that. Does it pencil out? It's very easy. Do what the big dogs do. What you should be looking at houses. This is my job. If you're my client, I just have a hard time because I deal with people all the time. First-time home buyers, and we really want something that's move-in ready, and we want to do this, and we want to do that. We want to live here. We want to live there. No! You want to see if it pencils out. My job is to not only earn your sale, your friend's sale, your family sale, your next sale, stacking up some properties, or at minimum, if I never see your face again, I want to make sure I sleep better at night knowing you made a smart purchase. Agents don't care. They don't care if your purchase is smart. All they care about is I go back to the office, I got another sale done. Walk some dummy first-time home buyers into a big old mortgage they had to borrow from their parents to make the down payment. They don't care. And here's the challenge with the economic Kool-Aid drinking, the industry. We see the whole industry, mortgage industry, real estate industry, builders. They're all in trouble. Drank the Kool-Aid. They drank the Kool-Aid. My gosh, I'm glad I helped a few people from drinking the Kool-Aid. Here, almost drank it myself. But then I remembered 2008. I was like, wait, if you do this again, do the same thing over, expecting a different result, I'm pretty sure that's the definition of insanity. Moving forward, we're going to make a lot of smart moves, aren't we? We're going to make a lot of smart moves. And even if you just bought, I'm going to be here to clean up aisle 3. We're going to help you through this thing. You're going to take some lumps. I'm not going to sugarcoat you. Take some lumps, potentially. I hope not. History would say you're going to. I took mine. I took mine. I'm here to let you know things are great today because I learned from my mistakes. I didn't repeat the same thing over except expecting a difference. So I'm like, I'll sit this one out and put my customers on the sidelines if that's what they want and earn their business later, put their needs before my own. What's so hard about that, real estate industry? What is so hard about that? So when we're going out to look at properties, we're going to say, well, what kind of exposure? Because all of us, that's the biggest financial decision of your life is buying property. It's not like we're going down to buy or, we're going to go invest in a couple stocks or something. Comes down to risk tolerance. How much risk are you willing to take in the biggest bubble ever produced in world history? How much risk? Drop it in the comments below. How much risk are you willing to take in the biggest artificially with no organic growth housing bubble that have historically always had booms and busts? How much are you willing to take? Little calculated risk. So how do we protect ourselves? Does it pencil out? What do the investors do when they look? Standard amounts down, today's interest rate, cost to carry the property, will it cash flow? That's all they need to know. That's all they need to know. If you do this with your next purchase, whether it's your first time house, second house, third house, fifth house, whatever. I don't care how many times you've bought and sold real estate. If you just examine that one simple thing, and most websites now that you're browsing properties on show you cost to own and its rent range. Do those two numbers at least come close? A small negative I can deal with because rents typically go up. Now, personally, right out of the gate, I want something that costs me less to own than what it would rent for, so I know I can cash flow that property if needed. If anything happens to me or my income or the economy or anything, renter goes in. So to drive our point home today, let's jump over to a property for another episode of Does It Pencil Out? Then we'll meet back here to wrap it up. Let's get started. Buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors. We're heading into Austin, Texas, and it might not be all rainbows and sunshine for these people. Let's jump over to today's featured property. Now let's bring up our crash map, courtesy of our good friends over at Zillow. And here's our Austin single family home. Let's get into the numbers. Here you go. What's our first red flag? Our description is a mile long. They're overselling the property when what they really need to do is just make sure they price right. All the words in the world are not going to fix one thing: price. Today's property has a mid-range value of around $450,000. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of its price history. Our property seller is stuck on the market at $450,000 after going through price reductions. They've finally got it priced in its mid-range value, but that hasn't been enough to get anybody to buy the property. They're going to have to get at its lower end value range to get anybody over to this house. Let's see where they started at. Here you go, $513,000, $524,000. Our property's gone through a massive, hefty, almost $100,000 worth of price reductions and still can't get sold. Oh, but wait, it gets better or worse depending on how you're looking at it. If you were to give them their $450,000 with the standard amount down at today's interest rate, your cost to carry would be around $3,100 a month. Now let's see what its rent range is. Houston, we have a problem. Or in this case, Austin, Texas. Our property would only rent for around $2,400 a month. It's upside down. It won't pencil out. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. So there you go, Austin, Texas, massive trouble. Your properties aren't penciling out yet, are they? So if I'm representing a buyer in that city with that property, what am I doing? Well, for one, I'm saying, hey, listen, this thing's pretty far apart. It's not penciling out. In order to get it penciled out, it has to actually have a 3 in front of the number, not a 4. They've come down almost 25% or whatever it was in their original list price, and it's still not penciling out. It shows me it's got potentially another 25% to go to get it to pencil out. They're 50% overvalued. Why? Because Austin had euphoric run-ups, overnight appreciation and never seen before highs, migration, remote work. I don't care what caused it. Out of the problem and in the solution. The facts are the house doesn't pencil out. So unless you have an open checkbook policy, and Scott, I just want to spend money, man. I got money. I want to spend it. I'm super rich. Well, let's go buy some houses. But if that's not you, which is the majority of Americans, I got to protect you. So I got to be willing to, hey, guys, listen, this house isn't penciling out. I'm sure that the owner's already chasing the market, stuck on the market, showing price reductions. To get it to pencil out, our offer is going to totally offend them. They won't even respond to it. I mean, I'm going to call them and say, hey, you guys want to see our offer? It's a severe lowball. No, don't bother sending. Okay, no problem. That's what we thought, but we had to at least ask. Off to the next we go. But, markets like this, I just think they have a lot more work to do before we can get them even close to getting on the tail end of what we're dealing with now. Correction, recession, depression, the 3 levels. We're at the correction phase. They're in the correction phase still. If we look to 2008, we had a correction phase similar like the property we saw today. It had more price reductions coming. Eventually, it hit those recessionary levels of a downturn. A lot of top economists now predict we're hitting a depressionary level. So I know even in the Great Depression of 1929, not all areas tanked and went to zero. Some areas weathered the storm. Some areas in the Depression weren't hit super hard. It was mainly those big metro areas that overheated, like the ones we looked at today. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history couldn't sustain itself. The blowback is now occurring, my friends. When properties aren't even close to penciling out, that area probably has a lot more work to do. We're going to continue to heat map, temperature check it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.